If I had wings, no one would ask me, should I fly? The bird sings, no one asks why. I can see myself, wings as I feel them. If you see something else, keep your thoughts to yourself. I'll fly free then. Yesterday's eyes see the colors fading away, see their sun turning to gray. You can't share in a dream that you don't believe in. If you say that you see and pretend to be me, you won't be there. If I had wings, no one would ask me, should I fly? The bird sings and no one asks her why. I can see myself, wings that feel them. If you see something else, keep your thoughts to yourself. I'll fly free then. I'll fly free then. You might think it chords. Snap your fingers like that. Great sound. You can do it also out there on the grass, but it'll come back about a half second late. Which is okay, it gives us a spatial sense of our rather dubious entropy, whatever that means. Remember when this was kind of a way to signify approval? Oh yeah, baby, I can get by on where you were coming from. Okay, everybody do this thing. Patty cake, patty cake, patty cake. It's in the 2 and the 4. 2, 4, 2. I know that confuses you, you're going to mess it up. How can you ask if I'm happy going my way? You might as well ask a child and play. There's no need to discuss or understand me. I won't ask for myself to become something else. I'll just be me. I'll just be me. If I had a wing, no one would ask me, should I fly? The bird sings, no one asks why. I can see myself, wings of my fear. If you see something else, your thoughts to yourself. I'll fly free then. I'll fly free then. If I had wings, if I had wings, if I had wings, switch to the south, feel a cricket again. If you had wings, no one would ask you, should you fly? The bird sings, no one asks why. You have wings in yourselves, and you can feel them. If I see something else, I'll keep my thoughts thoughts to myself, I'll let you fly through there, let you fly through. If I rains, no one will ask me should I cry. The birds sing, no one asks why you will. I can see myself, things that I feel. If you see something else, your thoughts to yourself, I'll fly free then, fly away. If you had wings, if we had wings, no one would ask us, could we fly? You see, sometimes a group can acquire a mind and will of its own without establishing a hierarchy of leadership. It's just the perversity that's in the air. They grab a hold of it, they say, this we will do. The clappers have it, the snappers defer. Actually, that song has a special meaning in today's world. It was written around 1970. But being a daddy, I look at my kids and I have to say there are some things that we learned then. There are some things that we accomplished, of course, that last today. One of them is that it's not only okay to be yourself, it's essential that you find out what it is that makes you unique. And I tell this to my kids. I tell it to them every night. I tell them every day at breakfast, and they hate me for it. No, it's not true, of course. After a while I hear that sincerity in my voice, and it gets me crazy, so I have to say something obtuse to give myself a break. That's what happens. That's not senility, that is refusal to become senile. I don't know what he said either, but he seems to be having a good time. In years past, we've kind of let him ramble, and he seemed to enjoy it and take advantage of us, and somehow it worked out in the end. Why are you talking to the audience like this, Peter? Look, I'm doing a concert now. I really wish you wouldn't discuss this with me. Taking advantage of the schizophrenic portion of myself. Excuse me while I have a conversation with his alter ego. This could go on for a while, by the way. In the solo portions, we do this. We express those individual thoughts that we have, and sometimes they come out all right. Sometimes people wonder what it is that we have in our minds. The other thing that we accomplished in those early years when we sang some of the songs that you've learned at camp and you thought were new songs when you were only 12. Was that we realized that people, when they do act together, can change everything. And that collective... You notice that anybody under 6 doesn't need a microphone? And you want to know why that is? That is Darwinian. Because they need to be found if they're lost. Of course, there is another kind of fallout from that. We're at their mercy. And probably in this day and age, that's not a bad thing. We have something to look forward to. Please allow that child to come at any time that child so desires. We will incorporate it into the music. All this said and done, why am I saying these things to you? I really have no idea what I'm saying. What I would like to do, have her sing a song. You know, I haven't sung this song for a long time, but it seems like it's appropriate to do it tonight. Because the things that I've just been discussing in a very, very scattered way relate to what this song is all about. Of all the sing-along songs that I've done throughout the 27 and a half years that we've been performing, it's okay if you're saying, boy, that's terrific, and we want you to go on, but you're saying, isn't it amazing? This song is perhaps the favorite. It's a very emotional song, and the way you've sung tonight lets me know that you can sing it very beautifully. The verse tells you what it's about. That verse that says, I bet on the grain there, I bet on the bed. But if I had gone to the racetrack and bet on Stewball, I'd be a free man today. If only we can bet on that unusual, oddball, ahead of his and her time person, or person that we are, then we shall be free. Stewball was a racehorse. I wish he were mine. I wish he were mine. He never drank water. He never drank water. Always drank wine. He always drank wine. His bridle was silver. His bridle was silver. Mane it was gold, his mane it was gold, for the worth of his saddle, and the worth of his saddle has never been told, has never been told. Oh, the fairgrounds were crowded, oh, the fairgrounds were crowded, Stewball was there. Stewball was there, but the betting was heavy, but the betting was heavy, on the gray and the mare, on the gray and the mare, as they were approaching, as they were about halfway around, about halfway. Gray mare, she stumbled, gray mare, she stumbled, fell to the ground, fell to the ground, and way out yonder, way out yonder, ahead of them all, ahead of them all, came a prancing and dancing, came a prancing and dancing, my noble Stewball, the noble Stewball. But I bet on the gray mare, I bet on the bay, without a bet on my Stewball, I'd be a free man today. Ooh, ooh, like that would be. Ooh, Stewball was a racehorse. Stewball was a racehorse. And I wish we were flying. I wish we were flying. And never break the water. Never break the water. Always drank wine. Always drank wine. You sang beautifully, and I thank you. And that single screaming voice there is not a person under 6 years old, but you don't need a microphone either. Actually, well, there's a higher note that you're getting. Yes, well, that's the one. The rest of it. Well, we like it. All forms of expression that are positive and approval are appropriate. Give him an inch now. I'd like to introduce somebody too, who is, well, for me it's a little difficult to accept the fact that somebody knows what note it is that they're playing when they put their finger down on a fingerboard. As a folk singer, I consider that to be an act of aggression. This person has managed to overcome his ability to do that and to know about that. Basically, he's a jazz player. But he is, in fact, in many people's opinion, the best folk bassist there is. His name is Dick Kness. Where's the when we need him? Okay, let's not make it a big deal. All right. But it is kind of nice to see that there's that youthful enthusiasm that smatters throughout the whole. I'd like to introduce somebody else. It's one of two people. I'll give you a hint. He's taller than I am. Through all the years, it's been wonderful to watch him change the configuration of his face and then watch me follow suit. We have a lot in common. It's like a family for us. It is like being brothers. Welcome my special friend, like a brother to me. His name is Noel Paul Stewball.
Hello. How's it been going? How's your lasagna? Your fettuccine? Oh, well, you know, for years I've come out here and somehow I've always been the one who plays these extravagant jazz chords and hangs these songs of intrigue and melodrama around them, and yet tonight, because you're who you are, I thought perhaps I'd try something mercifully short, but on the order of as I was motivating over the hill, saw Maybelline in a coupe de ville. Cadillac rolling on the open road, running out running on the PA4. Cadillac going down 95, and we were bumping and bumping, and I was side to side, Maybelline. Why can't you be true? You gotta start back doing the things you used to do. Cadillac pulled out ahead of the Ford, Ford got hot and we were bumping the horn. Sky got cloudy and it started to rain. Hey, threw me my horn, but that's it. Put yourself together, will you? Well, the rainwater bubbling all under my hood. Hey, I knew it was doing my good. Maybelline, come on. Why can't you be true? Oh, Maybelline. Why can't you be true? You gotta start back doing the thing you used to do. One more time now, answer me. Maybelline, hey, Maybelline. Why can't you be true? Oh, Maybelline. Why can't you be true? You gotta start back doing the thing you used to do. Watch out now. Keep down, that's when I heard that highway sound. Cadillac sitting like a ton of lead, 110 about a mile ahead. Cadillac looking like a sitting still. They called me the lead at the top of the hill, Maybelline. Oh, why can't you be true? You gotta start back doing the thing you used to do. Come on now. Hey, Maybelline, Maybelline. Why can't you be true, Maybelline? Oh, why can't you? You gotta start back doing the thing you used to do. Yeah, you gotta start back doing the thing you used to do. Yes, you can take the boy away from rhythm and blues, but you can't take the rhythm and blues away from the boy. Actually, listening to radio, you don't have much choice anymore, you know? Seems like it's golden oldies or top 40 or most exciting thing that's happening on radio to me is community broadcasting, where it's more like the 60s than anything else, where you can go from like a Mozart quartet into Blind Lemon Jefferson, and from there into the Jefferson Airplane, and then from there into this great what's happening on contemporary FM radio. As long as you avoid the stations that seem to have a preponderance of sameness about them. But then perhaps that's me. You know, I've gotten older now, folks, and sameness is death. That's not to say that constancy isn't valuable, but somehow there's a grayness to predictability and the challenge to ourselves to constantly rise to new heights, like renting a U-Haul truck. I mean, that's a brave challenge. Have you ever rented a U-Haul truck? Yeah. Well, those of us who have rented U-Haul trucks take great pride on the little logo that's underneath the U-Haul on those trucks. It says, "Adventure in Moving." They put that there because of us. I had to rent a truck to pick up the remains of my daughter's education. Well, she had 4 years to accumulate a certain amount of knowledge. And I was panicked about whether I could get it in a 16-foot truck or not. So anyway, I I mean, I had rented smaller trucks before, but I went to this place in Boston. Well, they're used to seeing a lot of people come in, you know. And I walk into this guy, and he's standing behind the counter, and he's chewing gum, and he reminds me of the guy who says, "You know what I mean, Vern?" And he looks up and he says, "You ever rent one of these things before?" And suddenly I felt challenged at my most basic macho level, you know. If I had had a tattoo anywhere on my body, I would have revealed it, you know. But instead, I just kind of leaned sideways and I said, "Well, I used to drive a motorhome." And he went, I said, "What?" So nothing. So I filled out all the papers, you know. The thing is, I didn't tell him that the motorhome had Park, Drive 1 and 2 on it. See? And he didn't tell me that the truck had a 200-pound test clutch and a big stick that came up out of the floor with no numbers on it, right? So he says, "You want to see the truck?" "Oh, sure. Yeah, I like to look over my rigs for a day." So I go walking around this thing, right? And he says, "That's your tailgate." I know, that's my tailgate. You don't pull it out, you know, throw it back in again. Walk around, and he says, "Well, it's all gas up, ready to go." All right, thanks. And I'm looking at him, and I open up the cab door, and the seat hits me right about here. So I pull myself out, feel like I'm sitting in Daddy's car. You know, my legs hanging over the front like this. And two other guys come out of the office, and they turn the baseball hat sideways, and they lean against the wall, and they're going to check right out there, right? Of course, by now I'm up to about 20 miles an hour, right? But finally I get out onto the road. Well, of course, you know, making plenty of room for me. And I'm right next to a get-on to the turnpike. So fortunately, you know, it's 3-4 lanes wide. I got plenty of room. And I got it to about 60 miles an hour, and I got it honed down pretty well. I mean, the thing, you know, is like dancing in the dark. And it's got a certain kind of tempo and feel to it, you know. I'm starting to get into it. Hey, I got a 6-hour trip in front of me. I better get into it, right? And I'm looking on the side now. This has got a governor on it. You can't go faster than 65 in these trucks. So I'm going, you know, right there, right at the limit. And I notice these little tiny cars are going by, you know, little Toyotas, and, you know, and Hyundais, and all the little Datsuns and Mazdas. I feel like if I opened the door, I could go, you know. But I refrain. Because I'm a benevolent trucker, baby. And then I look over and I see where there could have been a CB radio. You know, there's a connection for it, and I went, oh boy, I could have briggered myself to death, you know. But I don't have it. But then I see they got, of course, an AM radio. I can listen to country and western music. And I turn it on and oh well, only 5 hours and 59 minutes to go. Now I realize it's really going to be a long trip because this thing is making so much noise in my ears. And even though trucks do come across the way and I blink my lights at them, you know, trucker to trucker kind of talk, they ignore me, you know. I don't think they like people in U-Haul trucks. Anyway, I start to get bored and I look around and then I see it. Have you ever seen the length of a windshield wiper on a truck? It's about 2.5 feet long. And it's not raining, but I think to myself, I get to think about sound effects. And I said, I wonder what it would sound like. So I turned it on. It's great. I mean, it sets up this vibration in the cab, you know. I try fast, you know. It hasn't got the charm or the nuance of the slower speed. So I take it back down. And then I notice the hazard lights. I think, gee, if windshield wipers sound like that on a truck, what do hazard lights sound like, you know? So I pull on the hazard light, sure. And then I look over at the radio. I think, hey, I don't care if it doesn't get a channel. I'll play tone on the static. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun when it suddenly dawns on me that no one's passed in the last 10 minutes or so. And I look in the rearview mirror and I see all these little cars behind me. I'm not going to pass him. You're going to pass him. This guy's hazard lights and his windshield wiper. Are you going to pass him? Just then a big 18-wheeler goes by me on the inside lane. And the whole top of the truck goes like that. And he motions for me to pull over. I get so excited because, I mean, I don't have CB, but now we're going to do a real trucker talk, you know? Even downshift. Pull over to the shoulder. I'm about to get out of the cab, and he's running back toward me and says, hey, did you know that your loading gate had fallen out the back and it's swinging out all over the highway? Adventures in moving! Hey, but that's what life is all about, taking those kind of chances with other people's lives. Oh, brother. Sometimes you know there must be providence, because how else could I have gotten this far? Actually, that was kind of an interesting thing that happened, because there was no radio, and because I got, you know, after about 4 hours, I got tired of the windshield wiper and stuff. I started singing this song, which I didn't realize was going to be as autobiographical as it was. And if you'll let me get a D. The way to my father's house when I was just a boy lay through fields of innocence, near bubbling springs of joy. And when I lay me down to sleep, pray the Lord my soul to keep. The road was never very steep on the way to my father's house. The way to my father's house when I was 17, wandered through inviting hills beside a tumbling stream. Sometimes in prayer upon my knees, I would feel a distant breeze. The road was winding now through trees on the way to my father's house. The way to my father's house at the age of 29 was over a mountain that I would seldom climb, except in depths of great despair, when I'd be looking everywhere. And then one morning he was there, on the way to my father's house. And glory, what a refreshing story. I was so blind before he opened my eyes, restoring me to the way to my father's house at the age of 31. was a ride on a rainbow, my life had begun. And every evening I could look through the pages of his book and recognize the paths I took on the way, on the way. I go to my Father's house in these troubled days. The Spirit is moving in mysterious ways, reminded when old doubts appear that perfect love casts out of fear. And thanks I tend the garden here on the way, on the way, on the way to my Father's house. If you're ever trapped in a vehicle without a radio, make your own radio station. Do your own commercials. Do your own weather reports. STOOK on the news and on the time. You could do it. You could do that with a horn, I suppose. People would wonder. That was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life, was when an oil filter cap got caught between the two leads on my horn line and started setting the horn off intermittently. Beep, 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 beep. Right? And you pull up behind somebody, and you're going, beep, 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 beep. What can they do, you know? So, what could I do? Pretend that it wasn't happening? I finally ended up, the best thing to do was to wave. That really threw off, because I thought, I know that person? Well, you know this person, so how about a round of applause for Barry Tramp?
This has been a wonderful summer. For probably the first time in a long time, we all had 6 weeks off. And in our 6 weeks, we all did different things. Oh, Paul went through a whole bunch of songs by new young writers to find new material for the group. And Peter slaved away in California, mixing from 3-track. Yes, the first album was on 3-track. State of the art then. Mixing it from 3-track onto digital. So the first album, you know, the one with the brick wall, is now digital. It makes me feel old. It makes my younger daughter think we're contemporary now. She didn't really feel I was in the music business until I was digital. But what I did this summer was we had filmed in February a Christmas holiday show for this fall, which will be on PBS, and it's a wonderful show, and except when I watched it, I felt that my midlife crisis had definitely spread to my midriff. So this summer, I spent the summer not eating. I like the results. My friends like the results too, but they made me promise never to gain weight again. And I said, well, sure. I mean, I'm going to try not to do that, but why? And they said, well, Mary, you see, you like to cook, and all this summer you have cooked and fed it to us. Well, it's true. I'm sort of sublimating. You know, when I wanted chocolate chip cookies, I made them and fed them to my friends. Oh, well. And the other thing I did this summer was I got glasses. Non-line by age. I'm losing my, David, something is happening here. I hate electricity. At any rate, Paul found a song, and he played it for us. It was sung by a young British woman with a rather warbly voice, and I said, oh, that's really charming. And the next thing I knew, Peter was saying, well, let's do it in concert. And I said, in a weak moment, sure. There are 4 pages of lyrics. So I haven't learned it yet. Peter said reading it would be charming. This song was written by a young man whose mother was obviously marching for ERA. When Erica Levine was 7.5, up to her door came James Metcalf, and he said, will you marry me, Erica Levine? And Erica Levine said, what do you mean? Well, my father and my mother say a fella ought to marry. My father says his brother, who is my Uncle Larry, never married, and he says Uncle Larry is a dope. So will you marry me? Erica said, nope. My piano teacher's smart. She never had to marry. Your father may be right about your Uncle Larry, but not being married isn't what made him a dope. Don't ask me again, 'cause my answer is no. When Erica Levine was 17, she went to the prom with Joe Bernstein, and they danced to the light of the sparkling Bobby socks, for the theme of the prom was the history of rock. And after the dance, Joe kissed her at the door, and he said, do you know what that kiss was for? She said, no, I don't, but you kissed just fine. And he said, it means that you are mine. And she said, no, I'm not, and she rushed inside. On the way home, Joe Bernstein cried, and she cried too, and wrote a letter to Ms. saying this much I know, I'm mine, not his. When Erica Levine was 23, her lover said, will you marry me? This relationship is answering a basic need, and I'd like to have it legally guaranteed. For without your precious love, I surely die. So why not let's get married? Said Erica, why? Basic needs at your age should be met by you. I'm your lover, not your mother. Let's be careful what we do. for tradition or protection or possession. No, I love you, but your needs are a very different issue. And he sniffled, but Erica handed him a tissue. When Erica was 30, she was talking with Lou, discussing and deciding what they wanted to do. When we get married, should we move into your place or mine? Yours is rent control, mine's on a subway line. And they argued and they talked till they finally didn't care. And they rented an apartment near Harvard Square. Their wedding was a quiet one, they wanted it that way. And they thought a lot about the things that they would choose to say. I will live with you and love you, but I'll never call you mine. The judge pronounced them married, and everyone had won. And a happy ever after life is not the kind they got, but they tended to be happy more often than not. One of the wonderful things about Peter Ballmerry concerts, or folk music concerts really, is that if you hang in there long enough, you get multiples of generations. Sometimes 3, sometimes 4. And that's very special. And I realize that it's a non-ageist kind of music. I don't know if there's such a word as ageist, but you know what I mean. It's a music that you can rock babies by or march by, and that's covering a wide range of activities. I know with my girls, we've done a lot of human rights work together, and that's been very special. I mean, it was very special to get arrested with them. Well, that's a certain amount of class. One of the human rights trips I took a few years ago was to the Soviet Union to visit with refusing Jews. And I met some spectacular people there, men and women who have been refused the right to leave the Soviet Union or to worship as they see fit. And I'd like to dedicate this song to Yuli Kazarovsky, who has been waiting for 20 years. It's a love song from the Old Testament, of course. It's called My Beloved, from the Song of Solomon. Hey fellas, yoo-hoo, I knew we needed them for something. Yeah. Was something interesting back there?
Yeah, well, we were actually discussing, oh
Never
my God.
mind. Right. We didn't want you to think that the act had gotten too slick. Do you, Lee?
More One of the songs that we sang a long time ago that we've decided to share once again is the other religion in the group. We have Spectrum here. The last song was, of course, in Hebrew, and this is a song that is an early gospel song. It has a very humane, very human image of Jesus, and it paints him as a child who is rocked by his mother, just another child who ultimately, as you'll see, is compared to a tramp on the street. Very powerful image.
Lives in
in my You sang beautifully. Come and sing. We love you too. Come and sing yet another song. It's a very special one for us. It's a song of hope. For yesterday, for today, for tomorrow, you have always been the answer that blows in the wind. How many roads must a man walk down before they call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, I know. How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever blind? The answer, my friend, the answer is
Thank you.